Let's talk about some perfect squares that it's really good to memorize. You probably remember all the perfect squares from 1 to 10, but how about some bigger numbers? These are really good to memorize. 11 squared. If you forget it, the easiest thing to do, this is the same thing as 11 times 11, but that is the same thing as 11 times, you would say, the quantity 10 plus 1. And 12 squared, the same as 12 times the quantity 10 plus 2, etc. So let me write these out. 11 times the quantity 10 plus 1. So 11 times 10 is 110. We're distributing, right? Plus 11 times 1 is 11. So 121. 11 squared is 121. Really good to memorize that. 12 squared. Well, 12 times 10 is 120. Plus 12 times 2 is 24. So 144. 12 squared is 144. 13 squared. 13 times 10 is 130. Plus 13 times 3, 39. So 13 squared, 169. 14 squared, this one's a little harder to memorize. 14 times 10 is 140. Plus 14 times 4, well, let's see. 14 times 2 is 28. Times 2 again is 56. So that is 56. So 14 squared is 196. Good to memorize. And then 15 squared, a little bit easier. 15 times 10 is 150, plus 15 times 5 is 75, so that is 225. 15 squared is 225. So these are good to memorize for standardized tests. And then 20 squared is good to memorize. That happens to be 400. So those are some perfect squares you want to memorize. How about some perfect cubes to memorize? 1 cubed is just 1. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 is 16. Times 4 again is 64. And 5 cubed, 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 again, 125. So these are some good perfect cubes to memorize for standardized tests. With regard to squares and cubes, another nice thing to memorize, 4 cubed, 4 times 4 is 16. Times 4 again is 64. 8 squared is also 64. Is that just a coincidence? Well, let's see. 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. So 2 squared cubed. 8 is the same thing as 2 cubed. So 2 cubed squared. Well, 2 squared cubed, you multiply, that's 2 to the 6th. 2 cubed squared, you multiply, that is 2 to the 6th. So both equal to 64.